So, hi everybody, teacher Zdenek here. This is another halftime show, and this time I'm going to be talking about the Norwich Manchester City game. On paper, in theory, this should be an easy game. I would go as far as to say this should be a David and Goliath game. Obviously, David being Manchester City and Goliath Norwich City, because obviously they are in the relegation zone, whereas City are top of the league. However, I would say that Norwich City are quite brave in this game. They play some nice offensive football, and perhaps that's why they are losing. Uh, Manchester City are 1-0 up, basically. And we're going to talk about this game. I will be explaining some vocabulary. And as always, I'm doing this on my Instagram. I'm using the IGTV as well as on my YouTube channel. If you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, if you're watching this on my Instagram, then head over to Teacher Zdenek YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. It will help me out a lot. All right, so no Jack Grealish at all today, not even on bench, not even on the bench. He picked up an injury in training this week. So we're looking at the phrase to pick up an injury, which is a really good collocation in English. You pick up, obviously you can pick up a pen that you drop, right? You can pick up your kids from school. You can pick someone up at the airport. You can pick someone up at the bar. The verb to pick up, it's a phrasal verb. It has so many different meanings. But here, if you pick up an injury, it pretty much means that you get injured. Yeah. So remember, this is a very good collocation. Collocation is a combination of words that go together. So Jack Grealish, obviously, how much did he cost? 100 million pounds? I can't remember. It was an incredible amount of money, but he is not delivering, is he? And now he's injured as well. But that doesn't really do anything to Manchester City, does it? Because honestly, they have so many good players that rotation is always a solution to any kind of problem like that. It was a mistake. So what happened? Norwich, Norwich almost had a chance from the kickoff. Actually, that was surprising, but it was an offside play. The referee raised the flag, but commentators said that it was an uncharacteristic mistake by Ruben Dias. I think Ruben Dias either played the ball, either miskicked the ball or let the defender go past him. Something happened. He made a mistake. But the key phrase we're looking at here is uncharacteristic. Uncharacteristic mistake. Again, a very good combination of words. If a mistake is uncharacteristic, it means it's not typical for that player. It's not what you would expect from Ruben Dias because he's such a good player. Yeah, he doesn't make mistakes like that. It's very uncharacteristic of him. Right. Bernardo Silva hit the post in the 5th minute, and the commentator described it as a giant slice of luck going Norwich's way. So luck, you know what luck is? It's an formally it is an uncountable noun, so you can't really count it in any way. But if you use a clever phrase like this, a slice of luck, yeah, you can suddenly sort of talk about a portion of luck, yeah, a certain amount of luck. So it's not like the whole the whole thing. It's just a giant slice of luck. Like imagine a cheese, yeah, cheese, and then you're slicing the cheese, and if you have a giant slice of cheese, then you get the most of that cheese. And here we talk about a giant slice of luck. Obviously, giant means large. In other words, Manchester City got really lucky. And another interesting thing here is a giant slice of luck goes Norwich's way. So we have the team is Norwich, ends with CH, and then apostrophe S, Norwich, it goes Norwich's way. And we have to pronounce it Norwich's, not Norwich's, because that would be hard to pronounce, yeah? So, for example, another example like this could be St. James's Park, which is one of the parks that you can find in London. James is the name, right? I think it's named after a king, but don't quote me on that. James, yeah. And then you want to use apostrophe s, but it would be difficult to say James like double S sound. So you have to say St. James's Park, right? The same thing here. Norwich's, it go a giant slice of luck goes Norwich's way. Yeah. So you have to be careful how you pronounce it as well. Yeah. In the 9th minute, the commentator said that this is very encouraging from Norwich City. They started playing really well. Teemu Pukki, where's he from? Finnish, yeah. The Finnish player, Teemu Pukki, had a chance as well. Yeah, but the commentator said, nevertheless, the commentator said they have been under the cosh for the past 6 minutes. It's true that Norwich City played really well in the first half, but the first 6 minutes, yeah, they were under the cosh. So if you're under the cosh, it's an expression that means under pressure. Yeah. So Manchester City were dominating the possession. They were the better team. They were putting pressure on Norwich City. And if you are the team that is on the receiving end, that is under pressure, you can say that you are under. We can say that you're under the cosh. Very interesting phrase. COSH, cosh. Okay. Norwich hit the post as well. Yeah, it was Hamley. Hamley is his name. But it didn't help, did it? Because it was just a post. Then Ruben Dias made a cynical foul. Manchester City, Norwich City did a good play, and one of their players was almost getting into a really dangerous position, and Ruben Dias did a clever thing and fouled the player. He had no intention of playing the ball at all, none whatsoever, because he knew if the Norwich City player had gone past him, it would have been a big chance. So, and he knew he was not the last player either, so it can't have been red. Nevertheless, it was a yellow, and the commentators described it as a cynical foul. A cynical foul. So if a foul is cynical, it's that kind of foul that you're making that foul. It's usually not very nice. It's ugly, but it's important. It's important because it helps the team. It's a cynical foul. Yeah. And also, the commentator said, "Thou shall not pass," which I don't know. Is this something from Bible as well? It could be. It's definitely something from old books, but I also know it as the phrase "You shall not pass" from the Lord of the Rings. Yeah, from the Fellowship of the Ring film. That's what Gandalf says when he's fighting that. What's that? Bollock was his name. Bollock. He's fighting a large monster, a demon. I think it is. Right. He's fighting a demon, and he kind of puts his staff into the ground and says, "You shall not pass." Yeah, it means like you're not hurting us, you're not hurting any hobbits. You shall not pass. And this is exactly the same that Ruben Dias did. He just made that cynical foul, and the commentator said, "Thou shall not pass." Now, thou is it's another way of saying you. This is what used to be used in the past in Shakespearean times, let's say, during the reign of Queen Elizabeth. But today we don't really use thou. We just say you. Yeah, we say you. But it's still got preserved in certain phrases. Yeah, so this is one of them. Okay, in the 20th minute, the commentator said that Manchester City look a little bit flustered. Also added the Premier League leaders, just to add salt to injury. If you look little flustered, it means you look little nervous and shaky, maybe a little bit confused. These are all the adjectives that I found as kind of definition of the word flustered, which I believe is a slang term, an informal word. If you're flustered, you feel a little bit nervous, a little bit shaky, a little bit agitated, a little bit confused, a little bit, you're not yourself. You're not yourself, and that's exactly how I would describe Manchester City this game. Until they scored a wonderful goal, it was a world class goal by Raheem Sterling, and I have to say I made a terrible mistake in fantasy football because I don't know why, but I had a call to no nobody really called me on the phone, but it's like a phrase to say I had a call. I had a hunch, let's say. I had a hunch that Raheem Sterling wouldn't play in this game. I thought he would be rested. But unfortunately, he's playing. But what I did instead was that I sold Raheem Sterling and bought Riyad Mahrez, and it's Raheem Sterling, of course, who scores because that's what happens when you do something like that. It always happens, right? It's the Murphy's law, and he scored a brilliant goal. The commentator said he curls in an absolute beauty. A beauty means beautiful goal. Curls in, so to curl in. Some people have curly hair. It's like hair that is not straight, yeah. And you can also curl the ball in. So if you curl the ball in, you bend it in. Yeah. So a typical far post finish. He curled it in beautifully, and so that's when Manchester City went 1-0 up. It was in the 30th minute, and the commentator said it was on the half an hour mark. So this is an expression that I've noticed a lot. Commentators talk about the half an hour mark or an hour mark, the hour mark, the 90-minute mark. It's basically 60-minute mark. Let's say it's some kind of a round or some kind of a round number, some kind of a number that is in some way important or that sort of marks the time in some way. Yeah. So on the half an hour mark in this case, so in the 30th minute. Norwich City then made a foul. Andrew Mariner, the commentator, not the commentator, sorry, the referee, he spotted a push. So if you spot something, you kind of notice it. If you spot something, you notice it. There was a foul, right? And he blew the whistle because that's his job. He's the referee. That's what he has to do, right? He has to spot fouls. And then the other commentator described it as a nudge. Nudge. It's like another way of saying push, let's say, a little nudge. Not a serious foul. Definitely uh, nowhere near that foul that Ruben Dias made. That cynical foul. This was just a little push. But nevertheless, the referee blew the whistle and it was a foul because he had spotted it. Right. Halftime approaches, Andrew. Andrew is the other commentator's name. So halftime approaches. Halftime approaches. So if someone or something approaches, it's coming near you. It's coming closer to you. It's you can talk about distance, but we can talk about time as well. Yeah. So I remember this verb from when I was a little boy and I played strategy games a lot. I still sometimes play strategy games, even being no longer a little boy. But I used to see this word used often in strategy games. Enemy approaching. That would be a phrase. Enemy approaching. Enemy approaches, or something like that. The enemy is here. Yeah, they're coming near. So yeah, indeed, halftime. Norwich City 0, Manchester City 1. And that's all for today's halftime show. I hope you guys like these shows. I hope you find them useful, enjoyable. And yeah, let me know what you think. Send me a message if you want. And if you feel like you want to work with me in some capacity, if you're interested in one-to-one lessons, or if you would like to join my Achievers Chamber Discord group, which is like a monthly paid membership kind of group, where basically I help English learners get more speaking practice. I organize events and some lessons as well, and the learners can ask me questions, and it's just a nice place to push each other, to motivate each other, and to feel that opportunity that you can grow. Yeah, because you should always be surrounded by people who are successful, who are achieving things, because then you will get into the same mindset. Yeah. So anyway, I don't want to bang on about this for too long, because it's promotion, and that's probably not why you are watching this, but maybe some of you might be interested. Let me know, send me a message, leave a comment under this video. And that's all from me today. I'll see you next week. Cheers, guys. Bye.